So why not be single first?
Well, it's not meant for everybody to be alone after a painful.
Notice how he uses single and alone as synonyms. While heartfelt and full of emotion, his argument is flawed. No, healing should not be done alone. That's why you have friends. That's why you have community. But a lot of men either don't have friends or community, or they refuse to be uncoupled. I know so many women that are okay being single because they know they're not alone. This guy is taking a roundabout way of still feeding into the truth behind the article of the rise of the single lonely man. What he's essentially saying is somebody, anybody, help me heal. When you're signing somebody on as your healer instead of your partner, it's a fast-tracked way to be coupled and still lonely at the same time.
I feel like all those things that you said, nobody wants to be alone, but I feel like being single doesn't equate to being alone. I think being single equates to exactly what was just, kind of represented. It was like, I'm going to see people in spurts when I feel like it. And the reason for that is because there's a certain level of emotional detachment that you have in order to continue this kind of cycle, right? Until you find the person who's actually worth you putting in that work for, who's actually worth you including in your day, who's actually worth you taking consideration of, then everybody else, you just gotta kind of just like you guys do, right? That's what men do. Like if she's not the one, then I just call her up after 12, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's certain women who men take to places, it's certain women who men do not take to places. You know what I'm saying? There are categories and levels, and I feel like every position needs to be earned. And I feel like a lot of times women give it out too willingly. So I'm not against being in a relationship. I'm divorced. So I was in a marriage at 25. So I feel like I'm on the flip side. I married early. And I divorced till 35. So it's kind of like I'm just now being enlightened to like, the various options that you have as a, adult who can be in whatever type of relationship you want to be in.
So, go ahead, Luis. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know what's so interesting? Like everybody remembers the pandemic back in 2020. You know, I remember being with my girl and going to the supermarket and going to certain stores, and I remember everybody masked up, gloved up, like covered up, like if we were in the biohazard movie. I remember watching women, single women by themselves, strolling a carrier, just looking, this look of like this desperation, like this, like it was something I have never seen in my life. Right? It was something I've never experienced, something I've never seen, that kind of look of fear in someone's face, in someone's eyes.
What?
Right? And it was interesting, but it was on public display because we're doing something most people do normally, go grocery shopping, right? But because there was a shortage and because there was a crazy line and obviously there was a lot of commotion, right? You can tell the people who were not hitched with anyone, and they were operating and moving up and down the aisles with this like very with this this look of fear in their face, and sort of
There were no men walking around like that.
No, I didn't recall seeing dudes.
Okay.
I seen couples. They probably been in relationships, and I've seen dudes, but I didn't see dudes looking around like with this look of desperation. I just didn't see that, but I did see a lot of women look around and have and carry that. Now, are there dudes who operate and probably are like that? Yeah, I didn't see them.
Well, as a single woman during a pandemic, let me just tell y'all, I mean, I hate everything that was going on. That is not to take away what took place. I think it was but that pandemic, baby. Oh, it was just a memory. Just put it that way.
Your scary ass.
I wasn't scared of nothing. Look, some of my most fun memories took place during the pandemic, and it was horrible. But I didn't live in New York. I didn't live in a place where those things were, it was like as bad as that. So I don't want to downplay the pandemic. I'm just saying my experience during the pandemic was some.
Oh, your city was still open. That's what you're saying.
Well,
You got the battery in that fire alarm replaced. That's what you saying.
Really, the city was open like them men. They be walking around in that goddamn city, opening like a motherfucker.
Wait, JR, before you play that, let me say this really quick, because you ask a question in the Facebook group every week that's important. And I think it speaks a lot to, hey, you ask about, is marriage the goal? Is the goal marriage? Is marriage the goal? Is the goal marriage? And I'm pretty sure we've talked about this ad nauseum on this platform, and maybe have mentioned it today. But again, it's going to be a point that I hammer a lot, is that, people, even with getting married, people are not intentional in getting married. What are you getting married for? If the goal is not to build family and sustain community, what are you getting married for? Right? Is it for selfish reasons? You just need to be with somebody. I tend to agree with Hank. Nobody wants to be alone. I'm 50. Most of the conversations that I'm having with my guys that have been playboys and out there playing the field, now we all got seeds, right? But I'm married. They're not. They're scraping and scrambling because listen, at this stage of the game, you are now planning, you're writing your will, you're figuring out your estate, how you're gonna, when you transition, who you leaving what to, how exactly you want to be handled. Nobody wants to do all that stuff by themselves, fam. Nobody. And you definitely, it was 12 degrees here, Jay. I don't know if you're still in the city, but it was 12 degrees last night, man. Don't nobody want to be in that big old bed by yourself. Well, you want to, pull something next to you, feel close in that. You can't get that all the time with girlfriends. That it's different when you in covenants, a little bit different.
Well, the reason people get married is so that they can have sex with each other and not be fornicators. Okay, so there's reasons to be married even if you don't have kids. It's a commitment.
Heathen like me, that's not why I did it, because I was getting ass regardless. But I understand what you're saying.
You do want to be right with the Lord. You don't want to sin. Every day.
But you want family, you want covenant, right? Like that's innate, that's in you. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, I just wanted to say that because I think that's important when you ask that question, JR, and it's always interesting to see the responses, because I know we love the wedding, but nobody's prepared for the marriage. Love the wedding though. Cake was good.
And let me just say this too. JR, you are mute. I'll be quiet if you need me to.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of highlight that, because there is a question that comes up in discussions that I have. It's like, what is the purpose for a single person to get married if it's not about building family, right? If it's not about building family, they don't plan on having any kids. Like, what was the purpose of getting married? And I think we heard some of it, right? If you do believe in a higher being, then there's the covenant of that, right? If you want to stay in alignment with the Lord, then you're not out here just having sex. You're having sex in the way that it was designed to.